it's a long road from Amistad to Toho. Doesn't matter which way you go, the miles are all the same. But when you finally get there, and when you pull the cover off, then it's time to get a little bit lost out on the lake. Gonna back this boat into the water, find a way to win a couple dollars. Where the man says there's a cold front coming down, bring it on, I've seen it all by now. I can catch them shallow, I can catch them deep, open water or the back of the creek. The wind and rain to me, it's all the same. I make a living playing this game, and I thank the Lord above every time I can. I get to be a fisherman. Come Thursday morning, I'll have me something figured out. It's not definite, but just about that I can make the cut. And I'm betting on Sunday that I'll be fishing solo, just me and my cameraman Joe. And with a little bit of luck, I'll have just enough. Gonna back this boat into the water, find a way to win a couple dollars. Where the man says there's a cold front coming down, bring it on, I've seen it all by now. I can catch them shallow, I can catch them deep, open water or the back of the creek. The wind and rain to me, it's all the same. I make a living playing this game, and I thank the Lord above every time I can. I get to be a fisherman. Yeah, I can catch them shallow, I can catch them deep, muddy water or the back of the creek. The wind and rain to me, it's all the same. I make a living.
KBBT is brought to you by Motor Guide, Eford Outdoors, Ray's Eyewear, Amped Outdoors, Kayak Angler Solutions, and Tourney Tag.
Oh my God, dude. Look at the Let's go!
Dang, baby!
So, without further ado, the KBBT champion, the Rodney Kennan Award winner, goes to Mr. Conrad Benetti. Conrad Benetti wins the championship at the last hour. He takes out Matt Frentress 97 inches to 95 and a quarter inches. Unbelievable. The last best did it. Conrad. Yeah. Well, here's what we're going to do, man. We're going to go ahead and announce the winner here. And we're going to talk to both of you about your days as it goes on. But the second award winner here, KBBT champion, the Rodney Kennan Award winner. For the 128 angler bracket in May came down to Jeremy Baker and Doug Wilson. And the winner, taking home the trophy and the cash, is going to be Mr. Doug Wilson. Is the KBBT Rodney Winter Award winner. Doug Wilson, you win, my friend, 101.25 inches to Jeremy's 84 inches. KBBT National Championship is Marcus Coates. Marcus Coates wins the championship. Marcus Daniel Bryan Coates wins with 90.25 inches. National qualifier. Champion. Is going to be out of Texas. It's going to be Mr. Jason the Soup Campbell. Wins it all. Wins it all, my friend. Soup, you did it, my friend. Congratulations, Jason. You are the champion. The champion of KBBT National Qualifier.
You're muted.
What's going on? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Well, it just gives me chills. Absolutely gives me chills. Hope everything is doing well, guys. Hope all is well. Well, welcome. Welcome, everybody. It is time. The national championship is here, and we're so looking forward to it. Is there an echo? No. Good. Okay, good. Excellent. Guys, we're going to do something a little different tonight. We're usually doing OBS, and it just looked like crap. So we're going to try to do this on StreamYard and reveal the bracket. And I'm going to tell you, let me first say this. We had a team event today, and we had a team challenge going out there, pre-fishing basically for the national championship. And the winner of the team event was none other than Mr. Danny Gann. He just absolutely wiped the floor with, it was like 180 inches he caught by himself, and I'm just tagged along. So congratulations, Danny Gann, for beating the tar out of everybody. I was able to put in one fish today for 16.25, but Danny Gann and myself won the champion, won the team event today. Congratulations, Danny. He was on fish big time today and just kept on putting him in. Congratulations, man. What a freaking day he had. It was incredible. I thought I was going to start the day real well, but it just didn't end well. So, but Dan again, congratulations, brother. What a day. What a day he had. So, incredible. So congratulations, man. Anyway, thanks for all those who competed. I heard it was a tough bite in the Midwest, man. I heard
it was.
Yeah, Jamie Broad called me and told me it was a pretty tough bite, but it was good stuff. Good stuff. And
yeah, I know up here in Ohio today, I think they launched. It was like 27 degrees out, so
yeah,
definitely chilly. But the bite is almost there, all over the place.
That's right.
It sets up for this national championship to be fire.
Yeah, absolutely. And Florida's catching on, like Sherman said. Florida's catching on, guys.
Well, Florida always comes back. They always have that wave.
Yeah, it's coming. Guys, if I was Texas, I'd be worried. But, guys, let's go ahead and get right into the bracket, shall we? Let's do this. Now, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break it up into quadrants. There's 4 quadrants to the bracket, and there's a Saturday side and a Sunday side. I will say this beforehand. There's some people that cannot fish on Saturday that have to fish on Sunday, and there's some on the Sunday side that can only fish on Saturday. Don't worry about that. We told you we would work with your schedules. There's going to be one-off games that's going to be either played on either day. We know about it. Don't worry about it. You're just on that side of the bracket, okay? Mm-hmm. So Just bear with us. We understand. Okay. We told you that the national championship was going to be pretty flexible, and there's some that are on there, and we know. So
all accommodations are done though. Right here, this is it.
This is it, guys. And I'm gonna tell you the hours that poured into the national championship, from the time the first qualifier was on. We took your stats, and how we came up with the rankings was we took 70% of your KBBT performance, and we took 30% of your overall performance in live events, and so on and so forth. Is a perfect formula? No. There's some subjectiveness to this. And we had to make some changes and move people around, and it is what it is. But we think, I'm gonna tell you something. This is one of the hardest brackets I've ever seen in my entire life. This is the toughest tournament I think I've ever seen. And I'm talking about even live events. This tournament, if you win this national championship, buddy, you have earned your $10,000. Getting to the Elite Eight, you've earned your spot to the Elite Eight house. Incredible matchups that we've got. And man, this is not going to be fun for some people, for anybody. But it's going to be a grind, guys. But listen, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, it's a tournament. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's a tournament, and this is not easy. This is going to be the ultimate grind. And but I can't wait. This is what it's all about. So let's find out who is going to be facing each other in this, and we'll see what happens. It's just going to be cool.
One thing to add, Greg, real quick. I mean, everybody, you have to understand what Greg said when the amount of hours that were put in. Marcus worked on this thing for forever. Greg has. I came on. I mean, we put in hours today finalizing this stuff. We made some big moves, got some people switched around. So if you don't see your name and you think you're in a certain side, don't worry. You will see your name.
You'll see your name.
But I feel this is even. I think this is very fair. I think the seedings, we got them right. We went through our solution and everything. You guys are going to love this. This is going to be right. And no hard feelings towards anybody if you don't like your seeding. It doesn't matter. You had to get to the Elite Eight anyways to get a check. Everybody paid their $300 to get in this thing. Greg, let's do this, dude.
Let's do it, man. Awesome. So bear with me, man. I'm trying not to mess this up, but we'll try this because it's my first time doing this on StreamYard, so bear with me. But let me see what I can do here. All right, and we'll add this. Aha. Hopefully everybody can see that.
Is this the East?
This is going to be Saturday. We're calling it red. We're not calling it East, South, Northwest. This is just the bracket and who's in this bracket. Okay. There's 4 number 1 seeds. And again, let me try to not mess this up. Okay. Guys, this is the red side of the bracket. First side, fishing Saturday. And the number 1 seed, starting out with the KBBT championship, is going to be Mr. Matthew Conant, the Triple Crown winner. Matthew Conant gets the number 1 seed out of the red division. What do you say by that? Is it rightful?
I mean, far and away, well-deserving of a top 4 seed in this tournament. Matthew Conant is a decorated angler, especially with the stats that we were able to compile from 2020. He dominated nationwide. And arguably, other than guys like Jody Queen and Russ Snyder's, this guy, thirdly, probably had the best year on the water of any kayak angler in a long time. National championship at KBF. He did very, very well in KBBT and very deserving, and I don't think this is arguable. Matthew Conant, your number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed.
Let's see who his 16 seed facing him is.
16 seed facing Matthew Conant right off the bat is going to be Mr. Tim Spry out of Maine. Tim Spry out of Maine. Fished with us once. His waters are opening up. It's going to be cold, but it's Massachusetts versus Maine. Tim Spry takes on Matthew Conant. It's not going to be easy. That's not an easy 16 seed.
No, I mean, Tim's got minimal experience with us. But both guys out of the Northeast, both guys are going to have similar waters to be fishing out of similar conditions. Tim's probably going to give him a run for his money, but Matthew Conant has earned that #1 seed. So let's see what happens here.
All right, now we go to the 8-9 seed, and number 8 in the red division is going to be Mr. Jordan Westerman from Iowa. Takes the number 8 seed in the red division.
And those of you guys early in KBBT, Jordan was with us pretty early out of Iowa. He was kind of like that mule out of Iowa that brought on all these other Iowa anglers, and Iowa supports each other very well. Jordan Westerman fared very well with us, got an 8 seed in a very tough bracket. So you guys can get a sense of what's going on here. This bracket is not going to be a walk in the park if you see Jordan Westerman as an 8 seed.
Taking on Jordan Westerman in the red division as a number 9 seed is his good friend, Mr. Tim Gurley from Iowa. We have an Iowa versus Iowa matchup. Incredible. That's just how it worked out, guys. It was not planned. That's the seeding.
Yep, guys, we went through, like we said, these different types of rankings, different type of qualifications, how they fared. These guys were right next to each other at 8-9 and just so happened to produce an amazing first round 8-9 matchup.
Absolutely. All right, moving on. Number 5 seed is Mr. John Warchall from Ohio.
Those of you that know John Warchall, kind of came onto the scene pretty strong last year, won a KBF event at East West Harbor, was an AOY in his local club winner. He was a Final Four member of KBBT bracket. John Warchall, very deserving 5th, was right there on the 4 line, but he was just bumped out to the 5th seed there. And John is not going to be an easy out there sitting there looking to see who this 12 matchup is going to be for him.
5-12 matchup. There's always an upset in the 5-12 matchup. His opponent is going to be Matt Linseman from Michigan. Matt Linseman takes the 12 seed out of the red division.
Those of you that know Matt, he's been consistent KBBTer, guy from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We're going to see how his waters affect him, if he's going to have to travel a little bit to maybe get a better bite. But John Warchall, Matt Linseman, good first-round matchup there. We're going to have to see how that pans out.
Moving on here. The 4 seed, the Hammer, Mr. Robert Brown, takes the 4 seed out of this division.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Brown, very well deserved. He was right there with Warchall. That argument happened between those two guys. Just so happened
that was an argument.
That just so happened that Robert Brown edged out Warchall there, but Robert Brown is not gonna have the easiest 4-13 matchup here.
The 4-13. His opponent is going to be Blake Power out of Illinois.
And Blake Power is going to be he could be one of those dark horse picks in this bracket here. Blake Power out of Illinois, showed that he can fish. We know that probably Newton and St. Chris are probably going to be on fire. Virginia should be really good. These waters should be really good for both these anglers. I think this will be a really good matchup.
Any of these 4 out of this area taking out each other in the next round, good Lord, it's going to be one heck of a matchup. All right, moving on. Here we go. Out of the 6th spot, 6th seed is Mr. Mason Good out of Iowa.
Yeah, Mason solidified himself really well with a really good start to his 2021, as well as what he did last year in KBBT. He was a champion. He was a finalist versus Marcus Coates in that KBBT bracket last year. Mason Good, a very well-deserved 6th seed, came on strong, built his case, and sitting here looking to see who he's going to get for his 11 seed.
His 11 seed, his opponent is going to be Mr. Scott Drescher out of Indiana.
Yeah, and Scott Drescher out of Indiana, he's been with KBBT on and off, has some pretty good live stats, and Scott's going to give Mason all he wants here in this matchup.
That's a good matchup, good 6-11 matchup there. All right, moving on. Here we go. Out of the 3 seed, Mr. Eric Siddiqui takes the 3 seed out of Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Siddiqui is a 3 seed. You guys know what he does nationally. KBBT hasn't really fared very well. That kind of hurt him. I think that dropped him to that 3 spot. But Eric is very dangerous, very good angler out on the water. And guys, watch out for this 3 seed to potentially move out far in this bracket.
314. Here we go. It's going to be Miss Lisa Washington out of Texas. Boy, she's got a tough matchup.
Yeah, we brought Lisa up. She helped solidify this region of the bracket, and she's got some very good live stats. And she's going to give Eric a run for his money.
That's going to be a run for her. I think she's going to give a run for Eric's money there. I mean, that could be a potential first-round upset.
We'll have to see what happens.
We'll have to see what happens. All right, here we go. Moving on. I believe this is going to be the 7 seed, Mr. Brian Nunziato from New York.
Nunziato, very decorated. Everybody up there in Adirondack country knows Nunzi. The guy's done very well with us at KBBT. Has really good live stats, and that's a very dangerous 7 seed to say the least.
Oh yeah, he can go pretty far in this bracket. And the 10 seed, his opponent's going to be Mr. Ben Steele from Nebraska. That is going to be a tough matchup.
Ben's one of those guys that came on fire as well, kind of like Mason Good, built up his resume, came on strong, and was able to bump himself up to a 10 seed.
Yeah, I agree. I think his momentum took him into as a 10 seed. All right. I believe we've got a 215 seed coming up here. The number 2 seed is Mr. Eric Polenz out of Michigan. That is you talking about rocketing up the rankings. Mr. Eric Polenz definitely showed himself, especially with that Pickwick win. Had a good KBBT last year. Fared well throughout the fall, and he deserves the number 2 seed.
Yeah, Eric Polenz, man, is going to be really dangerous up there. It looks like Lake Erie, Lake St. Clair are potentially catching on fire. We'll have to see if Polenz is traveling at all. In my opinion, one of the biggest names up and coming that you are going to hear about if you have not heard about nationally, Eric Polenz, a very dangerous angler. And if I'm the 15 seed, I wouldn't want to face him.
All right, moving on to the 15 seed is Mr. Todd Patrick out of Ohio. Boy, you have a tough matchup there, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've squeaked through to get in. Don't have very good live stats, so we're gonna have to see how things go. But I'm gonna give Eric a run for his money. But not about us. It's about the bracket, and this is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be fun. So let's see who's next.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's exciting. All right, that is your red division fishing Saturday, April 17th. Moving to the bottom half of that bracket, the blue division. Taking the number 1 spot in the blue division is Mr. Marty Hughes out of Nebraska, gets a number 1 seed.
Guys, and for those of you who don't know Marty Hughes or anything about it, or you've not followed KBBT, you haven't followed us very long because we talk about this guy, arguably stat-wise, the most decorated angler in this bracket. Guys he's overlooked so many times in tournaments, but not this one. He didn't slip by us. He solidified a number 1 seed easily. It wasn't contested. Marty Hughes out of Nebraska,
the most consistent KBBTer. Also won Table Rock last year in very, very tough conditions.
Yep.
His KBF stats are absolutely through the roof. Well deserved. Number 1 spot out of the blue division. Taking on as a 16 seed in this division, taking on Mr. Marty Hughes is going to be Steve Kennan from Louisiana. Now, we don't know much about Steve, but I'll tell you this. Rodney Kennan, his dad, is giving him his boat, is giving him his hog trough or his catch board, giving him his rods. Steve has never competed in a kayak event at all. He's brand new to the whole event. Naturally, with no stats, no competition, or anything else, he's got to take on Mr. Marty Hughes with Rodney's boat. Now, Rodney can't compete. He gave his spot to Steven. We're going to allow that. But, man, I don't know. This is the unknown here for Marty. But taking Mr. Steve Kennan is Mr. Marty Hughes. So, wow. Yeah, that's going to be an unknown 116.
Yeah.
So, all right, we have an 8-9 seed coming up. Number 8 seed out of this division is going to be Mr. John Mooney out of Texas.
I mean, guys, John Mooney's came on late with KBBT. He's known in Texas. Everybody knows he's a hammer as an 8 seed, very dangerous. Let's see who he gets for his matchup.
His 9 seed opponent is going to be Mr. Kyle Schroeder from Texas. Wow, what a matchup, man. Woo.
Great first round matchup. I think our 8-9s in both brackets are probably 2 of the best matchups we've gotten so far.
That is going to be tough.
So hats off to both of these guys. It's going to be a battle. It's not a cakewalk first round by any means, but we'll have to see how it works out.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to see it.
5-12 seeding. Here we go. The 5 seed is going to be Mr. Caleb Helbig from Texas. You talking about absolutely coming on strong. Caleb has been, just a hammer here lately. I mean, he's been throwing up 90s like it's nothing. And Caleb well deserved the 5 seed.
Caleb's one of those guys that shot up the ranking board, and it just continued to climb. If he's not climbing faster than anybody on the board right now, it's Caleb Helbig out of Texas. Dude's been on fire nationally, locally, and KBBT. Well-deserved 5 seed.
Yep, and his opponent in the 12 seed is going to be Shad Schaefer from Kansas. Guys, this is not an easy matchup. That's a 5-12. That could be a 5-12 upset right there.
Yeah, Shad Schaefer out of Kansas is no cakewalk at all. Upper 80s, low 90s for sure. Shad gets it done. That's going to be a tough matchup for Caleb, but well-deserved 12 seed there for Shad.
Absolutely. All right, moving on here with the 4 seed, Mr. Jeff Isham from Texas.
Jeff Isham from Texas, very decorated with KBBT. Been with us since almost the beginning, if not the beginning. Obviously, if you guys don't know him, he's a hammer in Texas, and you might get to see this guy go kind of far here. So Jeff Isham, well-deserved 4 seed here.
His opponent, the 13 seed, is going to be Miss Catherine Field from Utah.
Yeah, Catherine.
Boy,
Catherine's advanced a couple of rounds here in KBBT. She's traveling nationally, getting that time on the water, which is key, and it's going to be a fun matchup there.
I wonder if Jeff and Catherine both are going to be fishing Dardanelle that day, or that day. I don't know if Jeff's going to make Dardanelle, but that would be pretty cool to see both of them at Dardanelle going at it, not only there, but in the KBBT National Championship.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Here we go with the 6 seed, Mr. Cayman Rasmussen out of Utah. Guys, if you don't know Cayman Rasmussen, this guy is absolute. I call him the silent assassin. This guy can put some numbers quick on you, and he just fights to the very end. His matchup with Robert Brown was epic.
Yeah, another young angler in KBBT out of Utah. The kid knows how to fish. He travels. He does all he's got to do. His bite should be on smallies out there when this starts. Watch out for Cayman Rasmussen to maybe advance a couple rounds here.
The 11 seed, his opponent is going to be Mr. Jerry T from Oklahoma, the jig man himself. That is going to be an excellent matchup.
Yeah, we think that this is going to be a very good matchup for sure. When we saw this on paper, this is one we were excited about. Jerry T can hold his own in Oklahoma, reps the state well, and knows how to fish. Very decorated angler in his own right.
Cayman says the spawn is happening out there right now. Interesting. All right, moving on is the 3 seed, Mr. Marcus Coates out of Arkansas. 3 seed.
Yeah.
That was a debate, man. That was hard. That was one of the hardest moves that I think we had to do. And, we had to put feelings aside. But Marcus, it was really, really close, between the top 3. And it was a coin flip of all 3 gentlemen. We came to the conclusion Marcus, is a 3 seed. And, I tell you, man, it's going to be a tough ride regardless, whatever route you go, whatever numbers by your name, you still got to beat your opponent in front of you. And then as you progress, it's going to be very difficult. But Marcus is willing to take this task. And, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
Yeah, we got Cliff Allen asking a question here. Cliff, let me get you on the same page, man. What we did here, if you didn't hear at the beginning, is we took 70% KBBT performances and then national performances. And here's the reason that I think that Marcus fell. Marcus hasn't really fared well in any of the national level type events or any like local club events. His success has basically been solely KBBT. which has been astounding. It's been very good. But that 30% hurt him on the back end, and I think that's what dropped him down to a 3 seed to answer that
It
question.
was a coin flip, guys.
Yeah.
It was. And Marcus actually agreed. So, all right, moving as a 14 seed here is going to be Mr. Rob Richards from Texas. It's Marcus versus Rob.
I think that's going to be a fun little matchup, actually. You know, Rob out on a kayak doing his thing versus Mark. I think a lot of smack talk could come out of that, but it's going to be definitely fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on. Here we go. And I believe this is a seven seed. Yeah, 7 seed, Mr. Jared Brockelman from Texas. Real good showing in the championship against Jason Campbell. Jared gets the 7 seed out of the blue division.
Guys, as you can see, this bracket's stacked when you have Jared Brockelman as a 7 seed. The guy made it to a championship. But I think, you know, another thing that maybe held Brockelman back a little bit is maybe more national level competition and things outside of KBBT. But congratulations to Jared. You're going to be a tough out as a 7 seed, very dangerous. And you could look for this guy to maybe make a Cinderella run.
Rob Richards says he's not getting his rod now. That's awesome. Well, you can make his rod. Make sure they break on him. All right. 7-10. His 10 seed is going to be Charner Williams from Texas. Ooh, what a matchup. This may be on the same body of water. This is going to be an incredible matchup.
Yeah, Charner and Jared, right out of the same type of area of Texas. I think very even on paper, these two. It's definitely going to be a fun matchup. I'm excited for this one.
Oh, this is going to be a great matchup for sure. All right, the number 2 seed out of the blue division is going to be Mr. Adam Patron out of Louisiana.
And Adam Patron came on strong. I think what put Adam Patron over the top here, KBF DZ, the 10 house. I think he did really well in the Invitational. He did well in maybe I think a Hobie event or something recently. And he's fared well with us. I think 2, maybe an Elite 8 and a Sweet 16 or something like that with KBBT. That's probably why Patron just got that edge over Mark there. But that was a coin flip, everybody. And Adam Patron, well-deserved top 2-3 seed right there.
Yep. All right, moving on to his opponent in the 15 seed is going to be Stephen Davis out of Kansas.
Stephen Davis. Sorry, I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at Robert Brown. He said, "This is BS." I just saw this. Robert, you were a big pawn, and this is it's fun to see you move around the board. But get back to this matchup here: Patron, Steve Davis. With Davis Custom Rods, it's going to be a good matchup. Steve's looking for his first advancement in the bracket, in a 15 seed here. That's going to be having his hands full here versus Adam Patron.
Yeah, man. So looks like we have some pretty concurring, answers when it comes to the seeding. Eric Nelson says, "Heck yeah, Adam deserves it." We agree. Anytime that you make it to the 10 house and perform as I think top 4, I think he was 4th or 3rd or 4th in that. It's just solid. So again, that's why he had the edge, and we think he was deserving of the 2 seed there. So
yeah, because everybody, we are KBBT, but we did tell everyone that there wasn't just KBBT involved. If so, Marcus would obviously be a number 1 seed. Some of these other guys, maybe wouldn't be as high. So we took an overall ranking, and this is just how we felt that everything felt, or how it fell, and we all feel very confident with our picks here. So let's see.
All right, let's move on to this other side of the bracket. Here we go. All right, other side of the bracket. That's the blue bracket. This is the Sunday side, the white division. All right. The number 1 spot in the white division on the Sunday side goes to Mr. Conrad Benetti out of Florida. He takes the number 1 spot overall.
Yeah, guys.
He is the number 1 spot in the KBBT bracket.
And if you guys question that, you haven't been paying attention. I mean, he won our AOI last year. He won a KAF Florida event this year for live. He did well at the Invitational in Florida. So he is solidifying himself as an angler that can fish outside of an online event, if that's an issue for you still. And Conrad Benetti, well-deserved number 1 seed. And I wouldn't want to be the 16 seed facing him.
The 16th seed facing Mr. Conrad Benetti is going to be Scott Robertson out of Texas.
I have nothing to say. This is
Man,
gonna
that's
be
just
hard.
brutal. That's
Scott,
brutal.
you know,
What a
you
brutal
got him,
draw.
And, good luck versus Conrad.
You know what? If I was Scott, you know what? It's game on. You know what I mean?
UMBC, University of Maryland and Baltimore College, they did upset Virginia. So 16 over a 1 seed, it does happen occasionally. So Scott, give it hell, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 8-9 seed is going to be 8 seed is Mr. Justin Holly out of Texas. This guy is no joke.
He's not a joke, and coming out of Texas, hammer here, 8-9. This 8-9 matchup, guys. Watch this one blow your mind if the other two haven't already.
Oh yeah, wait till you see this matchup. The 9 seed out of this division is Derek Miller out of Texas. Wow, Justin Holly versus Derek Miller, incredible.
Yeah, and guys like Derek Miller, dominates in Texas, online things like that, but haven't really seen much live from him. Probably hurt him to get him down to that 9 seed. Justin Holly, Derek Miller, 8-9 seed first matchup. Wow.
All right, moving on here. 5-12. The 5 seed is Mr. Doug Wilson out of Florida.
A previous KBBT national champ. Doug Wilson, very decorated. Online out of Florida. The guy puts up 110, 115 inches monthly down in Florida. Very respected, very dangerous angler as a 5 seed coming out. The 12 seed here has got their hands full.
The 12 seed is no joke either. Taking on Mr. Doug Wilson is Keelan Kyle out of Texas. That is not going to be easy for either one of these gentlemen.
Keelan Kyle's known to touch the low 90s a couple of different times, and Doug's going to have to go out there and do his thing. But Doug Wilson, Keelan Kyle, Florida, Texas. That's what we paid.
Oh, it's going to be awesome right off the bat.
What we got
right off the bat for sure. All right, moving on. Here we go. The 4 seed is J.R. Maccabee out of Texas.
Another hammer.
Oh man, this guy's been putting on a show. The Texas Throwdown. I think he finished 3rd or 4th. He went far. I think he was a Final Four appearance in the KBBT Texas qualifier. Live event after live event, he just continues to show his strength. This guy's actually putting on a show. He deserves the number 4 seed out of this bracket.
Most definitely.
All right, taking the 13 seed, taking on J.R. Maccabee, it's going to be Brad Kennan from Louisiana.
Another Kennan son. Brad Kennan, a little bit more decorated than his brother. It's gonna be fun to see what Brad can do out of either Caddo or Toledo Bend or wherever he decides to go. But JR, you got your handful here with Brad.
Brad, let me tell you something. Brad is absolutely super motivated for this event, and he's got something to prove, and he's going to prove it, man. I mean, he is absolutely fired up about this. So both these guys are going to be fired up. So it's going to be a great matchup right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I believe that we have a 6 seed is James LeVere out of Texas. Wow. This is how strong this bracket is. James LeVere is a 6 seed.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is probably the most dangerous 6 seed in the tournament. This guy he could win this. He could win this.
Oh yeah.
The guy, he has shown himself in this last chance qualifier to be a hammer. Solidly in the 90s, low hundreds. Guy's got some good live stats. Watch out for LeVere to come out as a potential 6 seed to the Elite 8 and make it to the house.
Taking on James as 11 seed is going to be Joel Spear from Arkansas.
And Joel's no pushover. He's no joke out of Arkansas. Been solid, consistent, and he's going to give James a run for his money. Oh
yeah, this is gonna be a fun matchup. This is gonna be a real fun matchup. And again, it all depends on weather. And Joel Spears is one of the most consistent anglers with KBBT. And Joel doesn't get flustered or worried. Man, he just keeps on plugging along. And Joel's a late comer when it comes to fishing. In the end of the day, he loves coming from behind and takes some victory. So pedal to the metal all the way down. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to see. All right, moving on is going to be the 3 seed, Mr. Rolando Nandon out of Texas.
Rolando's had a solid start to his year this year. Did very well in KBBT all year last year.
Well deserving of 3 seed.
Yeah. I mean,
again, another guy that continues to put on show after show after show on the live event scene. Had a real good showing, I think, at Fork. And just in all the Texas events, man, when you look at some of these stats, we're kind of blown away about what's going on. But both a very good, KBBT appearance as well as live event appearance. 3 seed is well deserved, my friend.
Oh yeah.
All right, taking on Mr. Rolando Nandon is going to be a 14 seed Dan Glennie from Texas. That's a dangerous 14 seed.
Yeah, Glennie is definitely a dangerous seed here for Rolando. But Daniel, I think maybe had like one good appearance with KBBT with a good number. But other than that, not as decorated here. That's why you see him at a 14 seed.
Correct. All right, moving on. The 7 seed is going to be Mr. Jason Campbell out of Texas.
And one of the things that probably hurt Jason here is more live events. Came on with KBBT strong. He is a champion of a bracket, but that's really about what he has to offer. He doesn't have that repertoire to show, more live events nationally, things like that could have helped maybe boost him up to a 4 or 5 seed, which is where he possibly very easily could have seen Jason. But this bracket's stacked, and Campbell's 7 seed and very.
Oh, he's going to have his opportunities. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
He is taken on as a 10 seed, Doc Acosta. Wow, what a great matchup.
An amazing matchup, and you're going to see Doc and all of his friends get behind him here as this 10 seed. This could definitely be an upset when this happens. But Campbell and Acosta, 2 of the most likable guys in this bracket. I'm rooting for both of them.
For sure. 2 seed out of the white bracket is going to be Silas Garrett out of Texas.
Guys, you can't really argue this. I mean, the guy had stats to almost be a number 1. Silas Garrett, in probably one of the toughest part of the bracket here as a number 2, a strong number 2, and I would not want to be the 15 seed.
The 15 seed taking on Silas Garrett out of Texas is going to be Sean McQuinn out of Florida.
Yeah, Sean McQuinn's had some fair pairings with KBBT, but we feel that Silas Garrett could make a real deep run here. Is set up to do so.
Well, and again, if Florida Bite kicks on, it's a Texas-Florida matchup, and you never know. I mean, the weather plays a lot in both areas, and the fish are extremely sensitive, and either one of these guys can take it, but that's going to be a tough matchup for Sean for sure. But that is a hammerfest. This bracket is absolutely loaded. Look at the names. Look how far down some of these names are. And argumentatively, I mean, look, you look at the rankings from 1 through, let's say 1 through 5. My goodness, it was really, really tough. But you can understand. You have to understand. Again, at KBBT and live event showings have the effects of those rankings. But man, this division is no joke.
No, I think that if you get a bonus point for coming out of that one, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Moving on here. Moving on. Last bracket. Well. Before we get to the last bracket.
What's up?
What's up? We're at the last bracket, man. Congratulations.
So
glad you can join us.
Hey, man, look, if it the one day to miss, the most important day of KBBT career, and my tail end just sleeps right through it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to the next bracket here. The last bracket, Moving on, number 1 seed out of the Orange Division is going to be Derek Brundle from Massachusetts.
I mean, guys, like we talked about Conant and Hughes and Benetti. This guy very deservingly of a number 1 seed. And what a great face for KBBT, Derek Brundle, a guy that's helped grow this thing, and very decorated, very dangerous. And Derek Brundle is going to be hard. He's going to be one to reckon with here.
So the number 1 seeds out of the brackets is Conrad Benetti, Matthew Conant, Derek Brundle, and Marty Hughes are the top seeds in this bracket, and well-deserving number 1 seeds, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Derek Brundle arguably has one of the best, career standards you could even ask for last year. Well, definitely one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, it's all 4 of those guys just have had amazing years last year, and already starting this year, it's one of those things that it's going to take everything you've got to take any of those guys off the board.
All right, taking on Derek Brundle as a 16 seed out of the Orange Division is going to be Mr. Rob Richardson out of North Carolina. It's going to be a tough hole.
It's going to be tough,
I wouldn't want to face Derek.
Yeah, Rob had a lot of online things. Nothing really live. And he had some KBT appearances, but Rob Richardson is number 16 versus Derek. That's it is what it is. Go for it.
I mean, if you think about it, of course, it is going to take a lot of work. Of course, he is going to have to do better than he's ever done in KBBT before. But can you think of a better statement as a 16 seed that if you're going to take out somebody, you're going to take out DB in the first round?
It's a career move. Yes, it's a career.
I'll tell you what, that's the way to say, hey, I'm going to the 8 house. Here I am. Let's go.
Well, it's gonna be a great matchup. All right, moving on to the 8 seed out of the Orange Division is Mr. Matthew Kasparek out of Florida.
I mean, guys, are these 8-9 seeds not the most dynamic matchups in the whole bracket? It feels
the 8-9 seeds are just ridiculous.
Matt Kasparek out of Florida.
I love what Robert Richardson says. He's ready. I love it.
We could have seen him move up multiple spots. But very big hammer here. 9 seed is just as big a hammer.
All right, moving to take Matt Kasparek or Kasparek, whatever you want to say. Number 9 spot, taking him on is going to be Dustin Arms from Tennessee.
That's going to be a heck of a matchup. We've seen Dustin Arms throw up 90 a couple different times. He is, for a Tennessee angler, he's knocked off several Florida anglers.
Don't sleep on Dustin.
I mean, he's a stick, dude. He got second place at the North Virginia Classic last year. I mean, I would be just as worried being Matt as I would be on Dustin there. That is one heck of an 8-9 matchup.
It absolutely is. All right. Moving on here with the 5-12. Number 5 seed, Mr. Jason Starley gets the 5 seed.
I mean, Mr. Consistency. One of the most consistent anglers KBT has ever had. He's been in almost every single bracket. I mean, he's a guy to watch out for.
100%.
Yeah, Starley's the guy that's always been right there to put it together. And if he puts it together, the dude's dangerous, and he could easily come out and face Derek Brundle there to go to the Elite 8 house.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. The number 12 seed is your boy Greg Nosar taking Jason Starley. Good Lord, what a draw!
All I'm gonna say is, if I'm Starley and knowing Greg's track record with KBBT, I got to be pretty happy about my opponent.
Oh man, dude, I'm not happy with it. But you know what, man? Look, you have to look at yourself, and I'm a 12 seed, and I don't deserve a higher ranking than that. That is going to be interesting. So Jason versus myself. I can't wait. I am super pumped about it. And Jason, I apologize to you later for knocking you out. All right. Moving on to the 4 seed is Sherman Bishop out of Florida. Sherman gets a 4 seed. He was calling me all. He was talking to me all day. Where am I at? What am I going to be? What am I going to be? He gets a 4 seed.
Man, that's and I mean, well deserving of it. Sherman can be a really consistent angler too. One of the best, Florida anglers that, and at least in my opinion, that they've got out there. I mean, it's going to be crazy to watch him, see what he can actually do.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to the 13 seed, taking on Sherman Bishop, is going to be Mike Elrick out of Massachusetts. Well, I tell you what, though, Mike Elrick, Derek Brundle, Matthew Conant, if those bites get on in Massachusetts, man, Sherman Bishop, you have your hands full. We have seen what can come out of Massachusetts.
And we're setting up everybody. You got to keep this in mind. The North Bite is about to catch fire. It hasn't been able to catch fire yet this year. When it does for the first time, it's going to be on. Do not count out a guy like Mike Elrick for a
We've seen him put up
upset.
some big bags, too. All right, moving on. With the 6th seed, Mr. Will Brewer out of Virginia.
I mean, talk about the guy that almost always, every single bag he's ever thrown up has won well over 20 inches. Will Brewer always brings the heat, always comes to play, and always seems to have one of the biggest fish on the day.
Yeah, he's not afraid by any means. Taking on Mr. Will Brewer as an 11 seed, Bobby Morin out of Florida. What a matchup!
Oh,
Ouch!
Whew. That's gonna be a fun one to watch. I mean, that's. Whew.
Yeah, but I mean, look, man. Bobby's had some. He had, last year early he started out on Hands on Fire, and it kind of faded a little bit late. Live events in the last couple of events hasn't been the way he worked out. But I'm tell you something, Bobby's motivated, man. He's ready, and this is going to be.
When Bobby sees his 11 seed, he's going to catch fire, and that's going to motivate him.
Oh, it's going to motivate him, no doubt.
So, Will Brewer, you have your hands full. You're the favorite by number, but Bobby thinks he's the favorite here. So, you got a matchup, and you could see maybe an 11 seed go far here.
For sure. All right. Taking the 3 seed, Mr. John Fox from Florida.
Oh, I mean, well deserved. I mean, we've seen John struggle in the very beginning. We've seen him over time just improve his kayak career with KBT. Great live event stats there in Florida. I mean, the dude's a hammer. He's one of those guys you look and go, how deep into the hundreds am I going to have to go today?
John Fox, very decorated. He has a $30,000 check from BFLs, things that he's done previously. The guy can fish, and he's solidified himself as a 3 spot here in the Orange Division, and he's going to have a tough matchup, actually.
Yeah, so, Scott Robertson's asking what's squeaking. I don't know what's squeaking, but I don't hear it. But it might be a chair or something, but I don't know. All right, moving on. The 3 seed taking on the 14 seed, Mr. Jeremy Baker out of Alabama. That is going to be a tough matchup.
Ooh, that's going to be a matchup to watch. I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot out of him yet, but we all know what the kind of a stick Jeremy Baker is, and we all know the body of waters that he does fish. I mean, that's going to be one to watch and just to sit back and see who can be on top that day.
I mean, if Jeremy Baker can get out to Gunnersville and Gunnersville can be Gunnersville,
who knows?
You might see a 14 upset of 3 here.
You could. You certainly could. It could happen for sure. All right, the 7 seed out of the Orange Division is going to be Jason Denise out of Florida.
I mean, he's sitting in a championship coming up. So, coming up a week from today, he's going to be taking on Jim Levere in a championship. So definitely, deserving one of the higher spots. Cannot wait to see if his consistency that he's had in this bracket rolls into the next one.
His opponent is a 10 seed, is going to be Danny Gann from Florida. Wow.
Jason
Wow.
Anise versus Danny Gann, and Danny
Holy
Gann is
moly, what
probably
a matchup.
and Danny Gant's got to be one of the most decorated KBT anglers in Florida. I mean, he's always consistent, super, super great frog angler. I cannot wait to see who's going to put up the bigger numbers there.
That's a tough matchup. But well, I mean, both these guys are. I mean, look, they're not going to back down at all. And I mean, it's just going to be a great matchup. Looking forward to that. All right, finalizing the bracket as a whole in the Orange Division, the number 2 seed in the Orange Division is Eric Nelson out of North Carolina. Congratulations, Eric, getting the number 2 seed.
Eric, with what he did nationally on top of his KBBT performances, solidified him as a number 2. That argument was there for John Fox, Eric Nelson, but we felt that Eric Nelson was definitely ahead there. And we feel very confident about him as a number 2 seed and very dangerous number 2 seed. Maybe not a guy that a lot of people have actually heard about as much as some of these other seeds that are higher up. Eric Nelson, though, it could easily make waves. And I actually have Eric Nelson probably getting into that Elite 8 house.
Yeah, I mean, Eric won Randleman while we were down there. I'll never forget Randleman when we were there. Will Brewer was taking on Doug Wilson, and Doug put up like 60 inches. Will Brewer had the winning fish in his hand. It could have changed the entire bracket that Doug won when he won the 128-man bracket that we had. And Will Brewer had the winning fish in his hand, got out of the boat, off his board, and Doug wound up taking that luck really and bringing it to a victory. But I tell you, man, it was a tournament I'll never forget. It was something else. But Doug, wound up, winning the thing. And sometimes you just get lucky breaks like that. But anyway, but Eric actually wound up winning that tournament. And he's been a consistent angler throughout, and man, well deserved of a number 2 seed. So, taking on Eric Nelson and finalizing the bracket is going to be Stephen Bell out of North Carolina. That's going to be a great matchup.
Carolina showdown. I mean, we haven't really gotten to see a whole lot of what Stephen Bell has to offer yet. However, I mean, here's your time to shine, right? You want to knock somebody off, go ahead and try knocking off the guy that's made his name in the North Carolina. So I can't wait to watch that matchup. Oh,
for sure, man. It's going to be so much fun, guys. I mean, it's it's going to be a blast. But I mean, guys, it's man, I don't know what to say, dude. I mean, this bracket, like we said, it's no joke. I mean, the bracket is really no joke. And man, dude, this is it was a tough seeding, but man, I tell you, I thought we did a pretty good job. Again, I mean, we could fight over different things here and there, but guys, I mean, we did our best for sure to get the fairest seeds for sure. And man, was it perfect? No, but we think we did a great job. And kudos everybody. Thank you for signing up, by the way, for everybody. And we really, really, really do appreciate it. But here's your full bracket, guys. There's your full bracket right there.
And you've already announced who's fishing Saturday and Sunday, right?
Red and blue are Saturday, white and orange are Sunday.
Yep. Right now, there is one matchup out of each one. So I'll be messaging a couple of you guys. That way we can help out everybody as a whole. But guys, I can't wait to see this thing. We got 2 freaking weeks before we start fishing and start competing and broadcasting. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And Greg was right. Me and Greg have probably spent like 6 hours on the phone today. It's been ridiculous, but we wanted to make sure that we did give the fairest bracket and the best bracket we can. Kudos to each and every one of you guys for making it this far. Thanks for coming along, and good luck on chasing 10 Gs.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you go back to that bracket, Greg, I'd like to point out a couple of matches that really catch my eye. I love every single 8-9 seed. I think they're all slugfest, and I think that they're going to be like highlighted matchups.
Well, the 8-9 seeds, we got Jordan Westerman versus Tim Gurley. I mean, good Lord. Justin Holly versus Derek Miller. John Moody versus Kyle Schroeder. And Matt Kasperek versus Dustin Arms. I mean, just solid matchups. I mean, look, the way we ranked our number one seeds, we had Conrad Benetti as the top overall seed. We had Matthew Conant as the number 2, and then it goes Derek Brundle and Marty Hughes. So, I mean, those were the top 4 seeds in order. But Conrad Benetti being the number 1 seed overall does not have an easy route whatsoever.
He arguably has the toughest brackets.
Oh, he's got the toughest bracket. Yeah, I mean, but again, you have to look at it regionally. What we had to do is look at each bracket regionally and make sure that we had anglers be able to fish. And in fairness, you had Texas and Florida kind of going on basically in those brackets. The North and the East, we kind of broke up into those different quadrants and, sprinkled in some other areas we had to. But, I mean, I think we did the best job we could. And, man, I tell you, it was exhausting, but we're super excited, guys. This is, again, super exciting. There's nothing like it, guys. There's nothing going to be like this. One of these 64 anglers is going to win $10,000, an XI3 motor guide trolling motor, and a amped 80-hour battery. Wow.
Yeah, and when we get to the Elite 8, it's going to be on Lake X. So however this bracket faces it out, we've got some lakes that are tiered in the United States and throughout to make accommodations for travel the right way. And I think we got some good lakes picked out for that. So you guys get to basically decide on where we go by how you finish. But this bracket, guys, it's solid. Hours and hours spent. Thank you guys for the good report back saying that you liked it. And there's some questions, Greg. People want to know if they can fill out brackets if we want to do a site.
Yeah, we're gonna have a contest. Absolutely, we're gonna have a contest. We'll
I
put
ain't
up
running it this time.
we'll put up a little pot. We could do a little maybe $10 or something if you want to do that. Fill out your brackets and then do a little pool and see how things work. My brother last year picked John Fox to win it all, and John fell out of I think he lost in the round of 32. My brother was giving me crap ever since. He goes, "What kind of rigged bracket is this?" He was just hilarious. But anyway, this is gonna be a lot of fun, guys. And we'll do little picks. Get your picks in, and we'll have it. Let's say by the end of next week, and have a little fun with this. But man, this is going to be so much fun, man.
So if the brackets go as planned, which they never do,
nope.
The Elite 8 should hold Conant, Polens, Hughes, Patron, Brundle, Nelson, and Benetti and Garrett, and that would be nasty.
Well, that's the great part about it, because there's never been an Elite 8 in history where the all 1s and 2s made it. So it's gonna be interesting to see who makes it in the long run.
Yeah, for sure, guys. We're gonna end it here. We're gonna go ahead and post the bracket. You can share it with everybody you want to. Also, I'll put a PDF link for the printout, so you can print out your own bracket. And also share it, man. Get everybody involved. Let them see what's going on. Share the crap out of this thing, man. Let people listen. I remember when we first started, man, we had huge ratings in terms of people watching it and families getting involved and, man, cheering on their anglers. This is a family town event usually, but this is a big deal, guys. $10,000 national champion. Also support our sponsors. You'll see on that bracket, it's Tourney Tag, Motor Guide, Ray's Eyewear. Go see Derek Brundle for get some good sunglasses. Amped Outdoors, Eford Outdoors, as well as Kayak Angler Solutions. Go see Jason Willis. Help him out, man. Thank you for our sponsors. Thank you so much for supporting this bracket and getting signed up. I know it's not easy. $300 is not an easy pay to get into this, but man, I tell you what, it's if you make it through, it's going to be one of the best investments you've ever done, and there's no other greater investment investing in yourself and your abilities to get this done. And man, I tell you what, I'm super excited about this. We had some good broadcasting getting ready to come on, and wow, here we go, guys. Any final thoughts?
Man, I just it's amazing to see it finally here. I mean, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Guys, just so you can take into perspective, $10,000, an amp battery, and a motor guide XI3 with pinpoint GPS, that can change your fishing career or make your fishing career right then and there. I mean, somebody is going to have the ability to have their whole world change. So it's gonna be freaking phenomenal. That's gonna change how people fish. You're not fishing for $1,000 here. You're fishing for $10,000. It's going to be crazy to see the guys that are like, well, I'm driving, or, well, I'm staying right here and I'm going to stand my ground. Watching what happens at the end of this thing is going to be mind blowing. And I cannot wait to be in the broadcast booth Sunday as that South bracket is throwing down.
Guys, all family, happy Easter. Thank the Lord for his resurrection, and looking forward to celebrating that tomorrow. Y'all be safe with your families. Hopefully you go to church and just have a good time. And man, let's be safe fishing again this as we prepare. And man, let's get ready to. It's like Bobby Moore said. It's getting ready for war. So it's wartime now. It's real.
Guys, yeah. I mean, one last thing before we sign off. Think about all the hard time and all the hard work you put in and all the traveling you've done to get into this bracket, man. Think twice before you go fish a live event. We're not encouraging you to not do that. But you have an opportunity, a 1 in 64 chance, which is probably some of the best odds you're ever going to see for $10,000 to go into your pocket. So think wisely, fish good places, and do the best that you can here. We appreciate all the hard work you guys have put in to fish with KBBT. Thanks for helping us grow it. Greg, obviously, thanks for creating it. And I'm glad to be a part of it and looking forward to maybe broadcasting a lot during this bracket.
No, we'll see what happens, man. Well, we thank you guys for all the work, man. Again, we don't want to be gushing and all this other stuff through this, man. But we have plenty of time to talk, and stay tuned for the picks and the pregame shows. We're gonna do interviews, man. We're gonna talk you guys up, like we said. KBBT is all about the angler, man. We're gonna promote the garbage out of you. I mean, it is going to be everything. We're gonna promote you as much as we can, get you out in front of the camera, man. Watch you fish. Celebrate your victories, in your defeats, we want to get it all live, man. We want to see it all. I mean, this is a dramatic event. It can be just so, emotional. It can be that. So guys, we look forward to capturing it all. And man, let's do this thing, guys. Good night. Be safe. God bless you. We love you. Take care. Bye-bye.
KBBT, we